welcome to the DeLaRosa-Army News. My name is Christina, and this is our salute to Veterans Special. We're so excited you are here and eager to introduce you to our special guest. Hello, Miss DeLaRosa. Welcome to our show, and thank you so much for being here with us today. Please introduce yourself and tell us your name and which branch of the military did you serve.
Well, thank you for having me, Christina. I was in the Marine Corps from 2001 to 2005. Oh, and my name's Michelle DeLaRosa, sorry.
Why did you decide to join the service?
I wasn't really the best student in high school. I had difficulty, especially with math. I didn't feel like college was something that I would have succeeded at. So I didn't want to stay home and not work or just have some mediocre job. So I looked into the branches of the military, and the Marine Corps is the one that I was drawn to the most.
Was it difficult letting families and friends know that you were going to be joining the military?
Yeah, it was actually. I enlisted when I was 17, so I had to have my parents sign the contract for me. And my mom didn't want to sign because she thought it was forcing me to go, but it was just giving me the option to make that choice as an adult. So I found it quite easy to let people know because I was proud to go to the military. Everybody was excited for me.
Can you tell us a funny moment from the boot camp?
Funny moment from boot camp. Oh man. I think it had to be the first time that we actually did the large obstacle course. And if you see it in the movies, they have that rope that goes right over the mud. Yeah, of course, I had to be the first recruit to fall face down into that mud. So when I got up, I was just covered in it. And being in North Carolina, it's nothing but swamps over there, and it smelled very bad.
How long did you serve for?
For 4 years. I did 2001 to 2005.
What was your primary job while you were in the military?
My primary job, I was 0121, which is an admin clerk. So I worked at what we call DPAC. It's the Division Personnel Administration Center. So we were in charge of every single Marine's record book. So everywhere they went, we had their record books. We kept them safe. We hung on to them until they got stationed to the next place that they would go. So anything that needed to be updated, that was my job to do, to make sure there's, proper information for each Marine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. What did you miss the most about citizen life while you were serving?
Oh man, chewing gum and walking. It's not allowed in uniform, and I was a really big gum chewer, and now it's just become a habit that I don't chew and walk. I think that was one of the biggest things that I missed, and fast food.
Is there someone who you served with that you remember fondly, and if so, can you tell us about them?
Yes. I'm not sure if you know, but the Marine Corps does not have any medical personnel. All our medical personnel is from the Navy, because the Marine Corps is Department of the Navy. Well, when I had gotten injured, my second year in, I met a Navy doc. His name was Grant Blond Jr. And to this day, we are incredibly close friends. He was there for me to help me with recovery to make sure that, everything was taken care of, and we stayed friends, and it's been over 20 years now that we've been friends.
That's cool.
He's amazing.
What was one thing that you found difficult about your time in the service?
Well, I mean, obviously being away from my friends and my family back home. My sister had just had a baby, so my nephew was very, very young, 1 or 2 years old. I think the hardest thing for me though was being a female in the Marine Corps. Um, it's not Back then it was a lot of politics. I still believe there's a lot of politics involved, but the women are treated differently sometimes, and if it's not taken care of properly, that can it could affect somebody. So it was really difficult for me to be secluded just because I was a woman.
Mm. What did you like the most about being in the military?
Uniforms. I'm not the kind of girl to pick out what to wear every day, more t-shirts and jeans, but the uniforms were my favorite part. Everybody looked the same. You wore the same thing every day, just made sure they were clean ones, so it was to me that was my most favorite part about it, honestly, and the traveling.
Did you keep in touch with your family and friends while you're serving, and if so, how?
Well, back in 2001, we had cell phones. They weren't nothing like what we've got now. No screens or anything. It was just push buttons. So, at the time you had to pay per text message. So I made a lot of phone calls to my mom. Every chance I got, I would call her from my office line because, it's free to call long distance there, but it wasn't free to call on your cell phone. Email was not really big back then, so I sent very, very little emails to my mom and wrote a lot of what we call snail mail, handwritten letters with a stamp and envelope.
Are you still involved with the military now?
Yes, I am actually. I'm the adjutant here for the Marine Corps League Detachment 714 with a Golden Empire. Got the name Golden Empire. That's our group here in Bakersfield. We actually recently just had the Marine Corps birthday ball this past Saturday. It was a lot of fun. Everybody got dressed up and looked beautiful, and I had a very small role in the planning of that. I wasn't involved much this year because of childcare, but yeah, I'm still with the Marine Corps League.
Is there anything you would like people to understand about the military service?
I'm glad you asked me that because I know I said that the hardest thing for me was being a woman in the military, but it was also one of the best things that could have happened to me. And I wouldn't want to discourage anybody that wants to join the military. I feel like because I didn't really have options at that age, I feel like that was what was best for me. And honestly, I feel like that was the best choice I could have made for my entire life. I think about like where I would be right now if I did not go to the Marine Corps. And I cannot picture a single moment of that life without the Marines in it. I feel like it was very beneficial. I feel like everybody should join the military. It should be something that people do after high school. I know Korea does it, but the US needs to too. But yeah, don't let things discourage you. You're gonna have your own experiences if you join the military, and you always ask your family and friends for help if you ever need anything. So I highly encourage it, especially the young ladies.
Before you joined, what was your prediction about military service, and how did it change after you served?
My perception of the military, so I thought there'd be a lot of yelling in the face kind of stuff all the time, of yelling person here and a yelling person here, and you're, yes ma'am, no ma'am, scared. But it really wasn't that. Growing up in my household, it kind of prepared me because I was yelled at a lot. I wasn't the best kid, so you kids behave, please. um, but it kind of prepared me for the yelling and the screaming at you, but that doesn't last through the whole time that you're in the service. So that idea of that was really changed for me.
What's one word that's definition has changed to you since you served?
I actually have three, and it's the Marine Corps motto. It's honor, courage, and commitment. Those words were always taught to me as a kid, being brave, having courage, honor, being a good person and being honest. And commitment means, keeping your word to people and being a good friend or a good family member. It never meant what it means now to me. It's more of a brotherhood and a sisterhood with all these strangers that just come together and make one amazing elite force. So the honor, courage, and commitment are words that have 100% changed for me since I joined the military.
Veterans Day is a holiday that we use to celebrate and honor our veterans like you. What do you think is the best way we can honor our veterans on Veterans Day?
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, there's lots of places that are giving away free food. So, I think that's awesome that they honor veterans by giving them a free meal and discounts on, purchases of whatever you buy. But I honestly feel like you just say thank you. And I think those two words mean so much more to veterans than people honestly understand.
Thank you again. Thank you again, Ms. DeLaRosa. Thank for joining us this time to meet with you today. That's all for our Daily News today. We're thank you all for joining us and wish you all a happy Veterans Day. Goodbye.
Bye.